insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?
What the hell?
Where were you in the 26? Hello and welcome to Likable, a podcast where we discuss stand-up comedy from an entry-level perspective. Today, I am joined by Mr. Alex Kollar.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me invite myself on your podcast.
Yeah, hell no, dude. I've been trying to get this done for a while
Oh, that's
now.
awesome, man.
Yeah. This is
I
very
love
exciting.
it. I love it.
Yeah. Alex, we'll talk about comedy in a little bit, but reason why you wanted to come on the podcast so soon. You're just in a movie, which I did watch today.
You did?
Yes.
You watched it?
I rented it, and then I watched it.
What'd you think?
I hated it, mostly because
nice.
I don't like scary movies, man. But I watched it, and I was just like, you know what was crazy? This is true. Like, I was watching the movie, and I kept forgetting that I know you. Right, so I got into your character, right?
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes,
yeah.
Your acting was good, but I think because he was on there so little, Andrew Steiner.
Yeah.
Every time he popped on, I'm like, "What's Andrew up to?" You know, like that was him to me. But then, like, I got lost in your character for you being you. So kudos, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah.
That was So like I wanted to watch it today because I knew we were doing this, and I was genuinely curious, and I want to support my friends.
Yeah.
So like so I'm like watching it, but I don't watch scary movies. So like the whole time I'm just like I'm trying to be like, all right, they definitely didn't have the budget to make that thing move, you know. Like I try to talk to myself, you know. I'm like, it's not.
You're like, it better not start moving really realistically.
Because my mom has a doll collection that's like that.
Oh, they're creepy as hell.
And I'm probably gonna inherit at least one of those dolls.
Oh my God!
Which is the premise of that movie.
Oh, jeez, they're frightening dolls.
Yeah, creepy.
Yeah, and no, thanks, man. And there's a bunch of comics in it too. David Beckles Jr., my podcast co-host,
love
Velvet
David
Sugar
Jr.
podcast, and Andrew Steiner's in it, obviously, and then Shauna Lane, which you might not know. She was a comic that's been around forever, and she's the one with the blonde hair that played the doctor, whose daughter. I don't want to give it away in the movie. But the blonde-haired doctor with the scrubs.
Okay, yeah, the babysitter's mom.
Yes, the babysitter's mom. Okay. I forget. I should know.
Yeah.
She's been a long-time comic. She actually used to write. She wrote a couple of sketches for Tough Crowd.
Okay.
Back in the day, so she knows
cool.
like Colin Quinn and everything.
Yeah.
And she's a comic. She's not performing as much lately, but she's based out of Westchester. But she's a really good actress, and she's like an improv person too. And so it's kind of like the director wanted. Comedians. He loves comedians. He's like, I like comedians more than regular actors. Okay. There's regular actors in it, but he's kind of biased towards comedians because he thinks like they have a different perspective on life. I don't know. That's just his thing. I don't want to get too into it. It's Villan Trubb, and he also made 2 movies. And his last movie, Dirty Kind, I believe was at one point, or might still be streaming in the top 5 percentile in Amazon Prime in the UK.
Okay.
Out of like 80,000 movies that they stream in the UK, it did pretty well. And he had Michael Madsen co-produce it, so which is one of the reasons our movie got distribution.
Okay.
And we even had a short little theater run, so that was amazing. You know, it was like 4 showings at a local Mount Kisco theater.
That's sick. We got to plug the name of the movie. It's Mamochka.
Mamochka.
All right.
Mamochka means mommy in Russian.
All right, and then when it's written in the movie, it's got the number 4 in there.
Does it? I didn't even realize that.
Isn't that like I don't know. I just thought that was like Russian letters.
That's the Russian. That's the Russian letter.
Okay, for
Cyrillic,
CH?
right?
Okay.
I don't read Cyrillic. My wife is Russian. She reads it. But I think that's the CH.
Mamochka.
Right. Mamochka, which means mommy in Russian. It's about an evil
doll.
doll.
I did not.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, dude. That was. So whose idea was the movie? Like who?
He wrote it. Villan Trubb wrote it,
Trubb,
so I did a short film for him that Andrew Steiner invited me on. He's like, hey, listen, this Villan wants a character, and I'm like, hey, I think you'd be great for the role. So I did a short film about 2 or 3 years ago with Andrew Steiner was the star of it. And Villan kind of, I don't know, he grew a liking to me, and he wrote this movie kind of around me.
Okay.
Because he knew me as like, he was kind of looking for a guy that's like, the way he explained it to me, that was like, it's a guy from Roseanne.
John Goodman?
John Goodman kind of style guy, like a big
tall.
guy, tall, intimidating, that's also like likable, personable kind of, and then he kind of wrote the movie around me, I guess.
Okay.
And but it's tough writing a movie. He told me for when you have low budget because you got to write your movie around your budget. You can't.
Sure.
The first scene can't be like the alien comes out of the ship. You're like,
Yeah.
well, I don't have any money for an alien coming out of a ship.
Yep.
And like even where
So-
you shoot, like you have to do it all in like certain rooms or like
Yeah.
different you can't do a lot of locations.
Oh yeah, we did
Yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4 locations, probably 4 or 5 locations in
Yeah.
this, and then we're all like somebody's house, his house, my house, or like a bar. The only place we filmed that we had to get like permission, and he had and we had a tight filming day because it was a bar. One of the scenes was in a bar, so it's tough. It's
Okay.
tough when you have a micro budget,
Yeah.
or a micro penis. They're both tough. Both of those are tough.
Folks.
I don't know why I said that, but it just reminded me of micro penis, so I thought
No,
I'd
I
say
mean
it.
you went there.
I don't know. Do I have one? You'll never know.
Well,
you
yours
might know.
could be like, you're 6'8".
Yeah, 6'6". I'm 6'6".
Okay, so I mean a normal size could look like a micro on you.
Oh, anything looks like a micro on me.
Yeah.
It's at this size,
Even the microphone's in proportion, I think.
It was like the David Tell joke. It's like, do I have a really big penis or just really small penis or just really big legs? It's pretty
I
much
have big
like
legs. That's I'm just letting America know.
That's
that. Yeah, but thanks, man, for the movie. I actually started as an actor. I was not a comedian. So that's
really?
Yeah.
At
yeah.
what age was that?
So
going on?
I've always wanted to be an actor, and I think I'm like, I think psychologists call it a closet extrovert. It's called.
Okay.
It's like I've always wanted to do stuff like this.
Yeah, my dad just says I'm in the closet.
Yeah, there you go. But in 2009, I moved. I had my son was born in 2008, and I've just thought about it forever. I was a very shy kid growing up. I wasn't the class clown at all. I was the shy kid in the back of the class. So I don't even know how I'm doing stand up today.
Yeah.
But I just knew I wanted to be in show business, but I didn't have the guts to try stand up. So in 2009, I moved to Westchester in 2007. Oh no, wait. I moved to Westchester in, when was it? Hang on. Yeah, in 2017, and I tried stand up after that. But what happened was I lived out of state. I moved back to New York in 2009, and I said I'm doing it, and I took acting classes, and I was so stage fright shy that what they do in acting classes, and people don't know, is they'll give you an assignment after a couple of classes. They'll say like, here's a monologue. We'll give you like a 5-minute monologue. This will fit you. Read this monologue. Like go study this, and next week do the monologue in class. We'll watch you. And then they critique your acting. That's how acting classes work.
Huh.
And then when you get more advanced, you start doing scenes with scene partners. So my first monologue, I literally was looking down, even though I had it memorized, because I couldn't look up at the class. That's how shy I was.
Wow.
But he's like, your acting is good if you just look at the class.
Yeah.
I had extreme stage fright.
Wow.
And I think I still, we all kind of as comedians, I still do. I think every set I still come up, I'm a little bit nervous
Yeah,
still.
after that first pop, then I settle in. You
settle
I have
in,
to
but
let them know. I have to trust that they like me first.
Yes.
That takes a minute.
And then I took that class. I did comedy. I did short films, student films. I did some stuff for investigation discovery for like a period of I took classes with this teacher, Michael Beckett, in HB Studio in the city.
Okay, cool.
And I think his teacher taught Al Pacino.
Okay.
So his teacher was
pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a really a great teacher, and learned with him for about 4 years, and started doing while I was learning, I was doing short films. I did some stuff for investigation discovery, TV, a little bit, and then I was kind of I think what made me realize I wanted to do comedy is I did a scene with a partner, and it was from Glengarry Glen Ross.
Okay.
And it was like a dramatic scene, and I somehow made it funny. And the guy came up to me, he's like, listen, I think you should be a comedian. You just have a natural way of making things funny. The class was laughing when I was being serious.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, you just have something funny about you. And that's kind of why I thought maybe I do. Maybe kind of affirmed that I should try stand-up.
And this is in 17 still?
This was already in 2014. I was already taking classes for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And then I'm I think I got over my stage fright. Because I've been taking all these classes, shooting stuff. I slowly got over the stage fright, which I honestly took the acting classes to get over, my stage fright.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. If something scares me or I hate it, I want to get over it.
Yeah.
And I want to challenge myself, and I did. And then didn't do anything for a couple of years. Did the movies now and then, commercials, whatever. But like not a lot happens when you're an actor. Sometimes you won't get work for a while.
Okay.
And then I moved to from Long Island, Queens. I moved to Westchester in 2017. And a year later, I'm like, screw this, I'm doing it. And I looked up open mic. I found like Lucy's Laugh Lounge in Pleasantville.
Okay.
Drove down there. I had no intention of going up. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch. I'm not going to go up. I'm going to just check this out. I had like 5 minutes of rough material. And the guy named Bill Cannon who hosted it came up to me and he's like, hey, you want to sign up? And he's like, he was really warm. He was like, just sign up. And if you don't have to, but like it's very like welcome. He was very welcoming as a host. Like, that doesn't really happen at open mics. They don't come up to you.
Not
You're
a
like,
ton, no. Yeah.
You got to be ready to do it. And he kind of like nudged me into it. I signed up. I got like 1 or 2 laughs, and that was it.
Yeah, you're hooked.
And I'm hooked. I'm like, this is awesome.
It's like crazy to think about your origin story because I only know you as a headliner.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we met only like a few years ago.
We only met a year ago. February would be, April would be my 2-year mark in comedy. So like, I think I met you. I think I saw you for Colin Quinn before I saw.
Oh yeah, that was.
Before I saw you like perform like outside of Laugh It Up. I think that's my timeline for you. But yeah, I've only seen you as like the guy. So it's weird to think about you as like a new comic.
But it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. When I started, like in 18, I started and then COVID hit. When I was getting traction and I was about a year and a half in, I was getting good, and I came second place or like arguably like runner up, top 3 or 4 in a contest, in a big contest that was held in all over the Hudson Valley. I was like out of 75 comedians, I came in like runner up to John Marco Ceresi, who's now like a headlining comic.
Yeah.
And he won the thing.
I emailed him the other day. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I
he's
met him,
phenomenal.
and he won that contest, and that was like, I was like, I could like hold my own with him, and I was doing like a year and a half, 2 years of comedy, a little under 2 years. Then COVID hit, and that was the worst because I was getting the most traction, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then I got back into it. Like I didn't do anything during COVID. I did like 2 Zoom shows, like a lot of other comics. I could have done more, but really, like I got my first show 8 months in, and that's actually unusual for a comic. Like I didn't do.
Yeah.
I was too shy to like ask for shows. My first show was with some contest or something, and I didn't do well. And then I did another show, and then I got some traction. But yeah, man, no, it's funny. You know me for like a year or 2, but like the struggle is the same for everybody. You start absolutely horrible, knowing nothing, and you just get better.
So I started out like lucky, I think, because like I got Cal booked me off of my first mic, like.
That is insane. Yeah, you got to Laugh It Up Comedy Club.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
But I was still bad. And then it's weird is like at some point within like 6 months I got put at host with Cal, and like I use Laugh It Up as my barometer for like how I'm progressing so far, and I've been at host ever since. I started in April. I was at Laugh It Up. By end of May, I was performing. He put me on a New Faces show, and then December I hosted, and then I was I've just been hosting.
Oh, Cal is awesome, man. Yeah,
Cal's great.
I got Laugh It Up. I was doing comedy like 3 years, and right after COVID, about a year after COVID, the two-way mic, which we're doing tonight, I discovered, and Kevin Ludlow was hosting it, and there was a guy that used to go to that mic that told me about Cal. He's like, I'm going to tell Cal about you. And he just kept promising me for like 6 months, but he finally did it, and that's Gary Levine. He knows Cal.
Gary's
and then
great.
Cal very reluctantly, like bookers, they get recommendations all the time.
Yeah.
But he gave me a chance to, he just gave me the check spot. And that was for
not even host.
No, it was the check spot.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen, I'm going to throw you up, but after everybody's paying,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
just go up there and talk until I give you the light.
And it was,
They're not going to give a fuck about you.
and he was, But you know, like you got to give it to a booker. He deals with hundreds of comics who wants to be on his show.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know, and it was for Jordan Jensen before she popped and got popular.
Amazing.
But she wasn't. She barely sold like 50 tickets.
Still,
this was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And now she the last time she was there last year, she sold out 2 shows.
Yeah, Town Crier, she did 250.
She couldn't even sell 50
with
tickets.
Cal, she did 250.
Yeah, she couldn't even sell 50 tickets before that podcast she started doing. So
Unbelievable.
I was the check spot. I did great. The crowd didn't intimidate me, even though, like, you know how check spots are, like 25% of them are talking.
Yeah.
I held my own. I did great, and then he had me back ever since. The next show, he has me to like headline one of those like
Mixed
the Hudson Valley's
showcases.
Funniest, the Hudson
Yeah.
Showcases. I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah,
this is great.
Amazing. Yeah,
it's amazing. Thank you. And so that was amazing. You know, it's all about connections. This business, it's
for sure.
But it's tough. You know, like you got to hustle like crazy. And like recently, I've been going into the city, and I got a real. You ever do city shows?
Cities. Yeah. I was just I was there all day on Monday, and I actually hosted a mic that I started in Brooklyn on Monday. But I went in to do mics beforehand, and I now my resolution this year is to pick a day of the week to go down and just do mics all day in New York to establish a presence, and then to just,
yeah, man, dude, you're a worker. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's but it's like what'd you think? Like, cause I've been in this thing for it's going to be 8 years in April, and but I didn't do a lot. I haven't done a lot of city stuff. I've done a few shows, but I notice how the city is. It's definitely a high barometer for comedy there.
Yeah.
You can't go there and fuck around.
I guess. I don't know. So, like, I'm mixed on it. I'm so mixed on it because, like, we're talking about mics or shows right now.
Shows.
Shows. Okay. So, shows. The shows that I've done there, they're the crowds are different. In which, like, I feel like if I go a little faster, they like that because I'm usually a slower kind of storytelling style. But like, they're so accustomed to 10 people in the crowd, you know, and it's like a different thing versus like here, like. If I'm getting, I mean, you were at my show at the Krog, and you know, you're fantastic on that, by the way. But we had a crowd of less than 15. I was so insecure about that. I couldn't fathom it because I'm just like, I usually.
Oh,
like
you think
30,
this is like it's not like I didn't sell, so it's not a good show.
Yeah, I mean,
which is
30
not how
is
it
like
is.
my minimum, you know, and that's like, so like, you know, and I think that crowd that night, all things considered, like. Was a very good crowd. Like they were very
great.
Nice. Yeah,
they were great.
But yeah, like the city shows, it's just like so interesting because like I don't know, I just feel like the comedians are less connected to the crowd, and I'm like so connected to the crowd. It's like a weird thing for me, you know, because I think they're just used to getting done and going to the next spot, you know.
And I felt like the show I did, and I did a show with really good comics. It was like a week or two ago.
Oh, sick.
And one of the comics was like a head writer. He's a lead writer for SNL.
Oh, awesome.
And there was like some other big name, like good name comics in there. Like, you know, every comic on there except for me and maybe one other guy had like 100,000 followers on Instagram. They were
Wow.
like good
Okay.
comics, decent comics, you know,
Yeah.
up and coming comics, but they're really good. Experienced. Nobody was like less than 8 years.
Yeah.
And I noticed like they were hitting. It's not long stories. It's good, solid punchline. Everybody had a solid set, bang, bang, bang that went. Nobody was telling long stories. Everybody made sure they had good taglines. And I was like, man, this was like a legit.
Yeah.
Like you got to up your game. Like
Yeah.
you can't go there with like.
Last per minute's very important down there. It feels, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's so interesting because they're definitely more taggy. They're, you know, because I mean, I think a lot of time you only get like 5 minutes or 10 minutes at most, you know, and you have a lot of jokes, you know, and like you want to use all those jokes as much as you can in that 10 minutes versus like, you know, up here, you know, we get like 10 or 15 minute spots, you know.
12 the least. You usually get at least 12. Over there, it's like set. You'll drive down to the city for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
With like, you know, and
I was in Queens like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at this point, and they gave me 10 minutes, and I was like, I thanked them because I understood that was generous for them, you know.
It is.
And mind you, like, you know, 15 is like a normal thing up here, you know. So I was like, that means you like me. Like, thank you so much. You know?
Yeah, and the question is, do you develop more as a comic here or there? And I think like it's different. It's just different. Here you get more time, and I think the crowds here or laugh at everything. You get bad crowds here once in a while. You get a show where your material's not working, sure.
Yeah.
But in the city, like my so-so material wasn't working.
Yeah.
I had to use my best material, and that was not barely working, but it was rough. Like you had to do good material. Like they weren't laughing.
Yeah.
There were no pity laughs in the city.
For sure. And there's
You know?
diversity, so like maybe you have to the first time I ever did a show at the comedy shop, I didn't account for a language barrier. You know, the people in the front row spoke French. They were not understanding, and I was like, all right, New York, I have to talk a little faster. They're expecting that. And then I was doing that, but the people in the front row were not keeping up because they didn't speak, you know, and I'm reading the front row, and I'm like, I'm doing terrible. So I start sweating, and it's like a horrible scenario, you know?
I listened to your podcast with Zenhauser.
Okay.
And I just thought of that now, how you're like, if they ever film like a special for me, you're like, and they cut to like, and something's not working, and they cut into the like 10 minutes later, and all of a sudden, in an instant, I'm sweating.
Yeah. That'll happen, man. Yeah. It's so bad.
That's like a weird hurdle that like when you get a few years in, that'll go away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember that. Like and that still happens. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm experienced. It doesn't happen. But like you learn to, I remember watching a comic. I was 3 or 4 years in, and I'm like, "How is he not panicking with that joke that bombed?" And now I'm like, "Oh yeah, you'll learn to push through
numb,
it and get past it."
Yeah.
You just think like, "I'll get him on the next one," you know?
I go through like waves of it where like, you know, like I'll have like 4 shows in a row where I'm just sweating bullets up there, and I'm doing well. I'm just sweating a lot, and then. You know, and then I just like won't sweat because for me it's like if I acknowledge it, it's gonna happen. You know, like if I feel a bead of sweat and while I'm talking on stage, if I notice that it's sweat, I'm like I touch it and I'm like, oh wait, that was sweat. Then it starts even worse. Versus like if I'm performing and I never even thought about sweating, I never sweat. You know.
So, but you're equating sweat to like I'm nervous for this show, and that's not good, and they'll see that. You should do it like I've seen like certain comics, like they'll have like a little rag and they'll wipe their head like I just sweat.
Yeah. I'm gonna be.
You know, you motherfuckers don't make me nervous. I just sweat. You know, just address it. Just dab yourself. Be like, I sweat a lot. I'm not nervous. I sweat a lot.
I would sweat a lot at a certain point, and I would use this tag sometimes. I would stop and go, I'm not sweating, you're sweating. And then I would just continue, because like I know they noticed it, you know, like, and then I just have to acknowledge that I noticed it, yeah.
But it's funny how like when you think you're nervous on stage or you're bombing and you start to get that inner like, oh shit, I got to turn this ship around, or am I going to turn this ship around, or am I going to keep bombing? And then later you see the tape and you're like, it doesn't. I've heard people tell me like, you didn't look nervous at all, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you kidding me? I was dying inside. You didn't see that? And they're like, no.
Dude, I feel
it doesn't show.
I feel like people don't realize how much we think while we're up there, you know, like. Yeah. I'll be like saying what I've got practiced, and I'll know the next 3 lines that I'm about to hit, and I'll say like in my head, I'll just be like, all right, I'm studying this crowd. I can notice this person's reacting to what I'm saying now. When I get to this word in 3 sentences, I want to emphasize this, and then I know that's gonna work, you know. So like I'm just like saying that in my head while I'm saying the lines and it's working. I'm like, okay, this is coming.
Yeah.
This is coming. And then it happens, and then I just kind of like pause and I enjoy it, you know?
Isn't it nuts how fast your brain computes things? You have things in the queue and things behind that in the queue while you're talking and present too.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And, it is.
I think that happens with repetition. I think, you know, like
yeah,
because I can't do that with new material. Like,
so I what inspired me was I saw a podcast with Louis, it was CK, and he was talking about how you got to go. He literally said any comic who doesn't go through their set before their show is an ass. Like he would say, like, you're an asshole. You're doing a disservice to the crowd. So like, what he believes is like if you go through the set in your head, even like talk about it in the car on the way to the gig, you're putting it into that RAM, like a computer, like a RAM, that random access memory, that memory in the front, where like when you're on stage. Because you just recently said it, it'll be in the front of your mind, not the back. You won't have to search for it. It'll be there.
Smart.
Yeah, no, definitely. Me, I do terrible. I've gotten cocky and been like, oh, I'll just go up there. I'm experienced. This is a small show. They give me 20 minutes. I got a couple of new bits. I don't need to go over my set. I could fall back on these good bits, and I have a couple of new. And I go there, and I don't do that great. And that's once in a while I'll do that, learn my lesson. And then now that every show on the drive up to the show, I'll like on the way to the show, I'll mouth all the bits like, and I'll start saying the bits like I'm doing my bits. And then it just goes in the front of my brain, and it's all there, and I'm not searching for it.
Yeah.
You know?
I was on my way to Boston to do a spot one time, and my buddy Travis was in the car with me, and I like paused the music. I was like, "Hey man, we're about 15 minutes out. I got to run through this 10-minute set real
that's
quick."
good.
And he just like sat there and texted while I'm saying it out loud, you know?
Oh, that's awesome.
And I threw a new tag in there just to see if he was listening. Didn't laugh. And then
Sweats.
yeah, I was sweating in the car because I'm
You're like, dude, is that gonna bomb? You didn't laugh.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Painful.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you are listening with just audio, or if you are checking us out on YouTube, please, either way, we do have I have my own personal YouTube, which is at David Stickle Comedy. If you can check out there for like comedy clips and, you know, actually this podcast, or if you want to just follow the podcast's Instagram, at Likable Pod on Instagram, at David Stickle Comedy on Instagram if you want to follow me as well. Every bit goes a long way. Thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it. Also, follow Radio Free Rhinecliff as well if you aren't already on Instagram. Thank you.
I forget what I was going to ask about I had questions about this movie. Okay, so one, David Beckles in this movie plays like the opposite of who he would be in real life. I think. And maybe I don't know him well enough.
Yes, he is.
But he's very much just like a bro roommate kind of guy. He's not your
Yeah,
roommate,
he's a family man in real life. He has a kid and a wife.
He's so thoughtful.
He's a settled guy. He's very thoughtful.
Yeah,
and in this movie, he's like this douche who's only like, he hooks up with chicks. Mm-hmm. He's lazy. He doesn't want to work. And he's just kind of like this, bro. Exactly. Like nothing like how he is, you know?
Yeah. It's so funny because, and so in real life, he's so thoughtful and like kind. And then like there's a point in the movie where you're like coming to him with an issue. He's like, "What's the matter with you, man? You're just still being gay." like David. So funny.
Yeah. He's also like he's been in like, I think he's been in Macbeth.
Really?
Or something. Yeah, he was an actor too.
Everybody with an English accent can just be in Macbeth, I guess. You know, he can do that English accent so well. And
he's great with accents.
You got to do Shakespeare, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
Is that where he learned it? Maybe.
I think he did theater. I know he did. Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't do Macbeth. He's watching. If he's listening to this, I know he's listening.
Yes.
Othello. I think he did Othello, and he's got some background in acting.
Same thing.
And he's done some stuff. So. Yeah, I'm excited to do it. I hope something more comes out of it. Like I can do more acting roles, and it is fun to do comedy and acting.
Like I think the comedic acting, you mean, or to do like comedy and or acting?
Comedy and acting acting. Where like the comedy, sometimes you don't always have a gig every day of the week, and with acting, I heard somebody talking about this. I can't remember what comedian was talking about this.
Maybe Stavros.
It might have been Bill Burr. Bill Burr was talking about this once, where he said he's like, I don't know, and I agree with him. Like, I don't know how you can just be an actor, because then sometimes as an actor, the hardest part I thought was you'll get a role and then you won't get anything for a few months. Mm-hmm. But in comedy, no matter what you can still go to a bunch of open mics a week.
Yeah.
And if you have some experience, you'll get a show generally a couple times a month, and you can keep working and practicing. And if there's some dead time, you do some acting on top of that. So it's kind of fun because you can do both, and there's easily time to do both. But with just acting, like I know actors who will audition 50, 60 times, and they won't get something for like 6 months.
Yeah, I feel like they face a lot more rejection than we do.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
And then when I was an actor, like there were every semester, because there was like semesters, and they were like 13 weeks. And I did it for about 4 years plus. Every semester there'd be like a model in the class.
Okay.
And some of them were really good actors, you know. And I talked to one of them, and she was like, "You think acting is like hard? Like as a model, you either get work or you don't work. Like it's 10 times more competitive than acting. So like we think comedy's hard. It's hard to break in, hard to get work. Mm-hmm. You have not seen acting, and then you have not seen comedy modeling. Like they can't. Literally, she's like, it's a doggy. There's like, for every 1,000 models, there's like 1 or 2 that get work. I'm like, damn.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of true because, like, Sydney Sweeney, not even a model, is advertising pants and all this kind of other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she's doing all like the stuff that a model would do. You know, so
Yeah.
models are competing with celebrities. You know, to advertise shit.
Celebrities, and then like, I mean, with modeling, it's like if you could be the most beautiful girl, but there's you know, like it's not.
Yeah.
There's 1,000
And it's
girls.
so subjective.
It's subjective.
Yeah, that's why, like, I mean, other reasons than this, but like when I was like starting in the fitness realm, I was like, powerlifting makes so much more sense to me than bodybuilding. Obviously, I never had the body
Yeah.
for bodybuilding, but like powerlifting made so much more sense to me because I'm like, the weights are objective, not subjective, right? If you're
Yeah.
a bodybuilder, like you're quantifying your success off of whether the judge thinks you have like nice hair or not, you know, or like
Right.
they
How
like
good
your
is your
song.
tan?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he
yeah,
oiled
yeah.
up enough?
You know, are his calves big enough for the length of his leg? You know, like all of that kind of thing.
Did you want to be a bodybuilder?
No, I did not. That's a whole different kind of discipline that I
Yeah.
have no control over. That's food. But like, you know, when I would talk to bodybuilders, I'm like, it's like no surprise you're so insecure. Like, you know, I know how strong I am. Like I have a chart. You know I've gotten stronger. Bodybuilders, like, they have to like get bulkier and then cut weight, and then they feel like an asshole for cutting weight, so then they have to get bulky again, and then, you know, it's just this constant back and forth. I'm just like, periodized strength program, I'm slowly getting stronger. you know?
Yeah, it's weird because we're as a comedian, you're in the arts. It's completely subjective, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's no measurable, quantifiable thing of what we're doing. You know, some guy could find you funny, another guy could be like, you're not funny. There's no, it's a real art, you know.
Yeah.
Like just like somebody could look at a painting and be like, this is dumb, and somebody else could be like, this is amazing and it's moving me. But then like sports and that stuff is completely. Did you come from a sports background or?
No, I grew up on a farm. I was like, my sister played field hockey, but she only did it for a couple of years, and then I picked up football. So like I was really like the first one that like had games for my family to go to and stuff like that. And then our football team was terrible, and then I just got addicted to like exercising and all that kind of stuff. I felt control for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
And then I went into college and I played rugby, and that was
Oh,
like,
you did?
Yeah, and then we
Oh,
were
shit.
winning. So like I got addicted to winning, and then that was, you know, and then after I got out of that, I didn't have anything else to do, so I just decided to powerlift because I could compete doing that, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, that was how about you?
I was actually a football
basketball?
player in college. I was terrible in football.
Oh yeah.
I got, you know, he stole. It's a joke that, like, you ever see an awesome joke and you're like, I wish I made that joke. Like, he got to it before me.
Of course.
And that was Gary Goldman's. You ever see his joke about football?
No.
So he's like 6'6", like my height almost. I think he's like 6'5", and he says he said, I think it was in his Great Depression special where he said, when you're this height, you get bullied into playing football. It's because you're huge. Like, you have to play football. No, I don't want to. No, you got to play football. You're huge. That was me, and I hated it, and I sucked because of it. And I didn't. When that was in high school. My brother like pretty much like bullied me into playing football, and then in college, I didn't want to go to a community college. I was an extroverted kid deep down, and I wanted to have like the college experience. And I was doing track in high school, and I met a coach who's like, I coach at CW Post, and he coached the linemen at CW Post, and he got me a scholarship at CW Post. It was like a Division II school. For football, I wasn't that good, but I was good enough to, you know, get the scholarship.
Division II.
Offensive lineman.
Pretty solid though.
And so he quits, that guy. His name was Kyle Flood, and I seen him on the news like 5 years ago. He went on to be the head coach for Rutgers.
Oh.
He was like a really good
I could
coach.
go one way or the other. I saw him on the news.
Yeah,
He murdered
no. They found a lot of porno in his no. He was he ended up being a really good football coach, and he got me into CW Post. It was like basically Division II like NCAA school. But I dropped out the second year, and I got into track, and I did. I was a bouncer.
Okay.
And as a bouncer, everybody you know is into what? Fitness, working out. And one of the bouncers, he's like, hey, you know, I do Olympic weightlifting. You ever want to, like, it's a pretty cool sport, Olympic weightlifting. So it's not like powerlifting.
No.
It's
very different.
Very different sport. They were doing it in Queens. I got into that. Through that, I was like into it big time for like 2 years, competing in contests. And one of the guys in my program where I was working out in Queens, he was the coach at the school I was already in. And he's like, I'm going to coach the throwers. Do you want to get back into throwing? I coached the hammer throw.
Oh, yeah.
So I got into the hammer throw and actually like was pretty good at it. And in Division II, I got to like I got to third in the country in Division II in the indoor weight throw.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
I was 2-time All-American in the indoor weight throw. I loved it. I love track.
Yeah.
I like what we're talking about. It's quantifiable. Like,
Yes.
you throw 63 feet, I throw 60. I'm better than you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of fun, but at the same time, it's not what I'm destined to do. You know, it's not what but it was fun.
Couldn't even throw a discus 60 feet.
Oh, discus was. I was terrible to discus.
Yeah.
Shot put, you have to be like a beast. You have to be like a 500-pound bench press to do the shot
and
put.
Also like over 6'5".
Six-
The
you could be like-
discus, you have to be like really, really lanky.
You're huge.
You know?
Yeah, huge and
Your
strong.
launch point is so crazy.
Hammer, I did the hammer throw. That was more like technique. So I had a really good coach.
Very
My coach,
Eastern European of you, by
he
the
was, my coach actually was, he was like third in the country. He was like, he almost made the Olympic trials.
Yeah.
But his coach was in the Olympics, in the 52 Olympics, old guy, who now passed away. Like, he was in the Helsinki Olympics. Like, these guys were coaching me.
That's
so
sick.
I got good. I love track. I love traveling around. You get to like go to different colleges and stuff, and I love to do that in comedy though. Like, how awesome would that be to like travel for comedy, like different gigs and.
It was funny you were talking about Gary Goldman's joke about sports and size and all that kind of stuff. And while you're doing that, I'm like, I know there's a joke I've heard where it's just like, if I were your height, I would be. And I was like, oh, this is this motherfucker's joke.
Yeah, it's my opening bit. Yeah, it's my opening joke.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah,
yeah.
dude. When you're
So
6, when you're my height, like I think today I had 3 people ask me how tall I am,
Really?
and 2 of their responses were like, "Oh shit, dude, you're not like you don't play football."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, if I've every day, I get this every day. It's never gonna stop."
My buddy Travis is like 6'3" or 6'4", and he's just very wide. You know, his
Yeah.
shoulders are Rushmore. You know,
Oh, he's got to get it every day.
That's the number one thing he complains about. He goes, every time we go out, there's always one guy that's gonna complain about, or is gonna ask me if I play football. And then he's like, for a while he was telling people that he played for the Jets but failed, and people were like, oh, that's awesome. You know.
But like my joke, that one guy who's telling him that is always 5'6".
Yeah.
130 pounds or 300 pounds, 5'6".
Yeah.
It's never like another big guy.
Yeah.
It's always like a little guy who's like, dude, come on, you're not in the NFL?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you think? Like, that's all you got to do is grow?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's
Oh my
insane to
God.
me.
There's always that guy that's like, I could have made it to the league, but he's also under like 5'10".
Yeah, I wasn't tall enough. I wasn't tall enough. Otherwise, I'd be pro. Sure, you would.
That's because of Julian Edelman, by the way, and Wes
my
Welker.
God.
You know, those
I know,
two
one
players.
guy.
Every white guy is just like, oh, I can play pro football. No, you can't.
The amount of Jews he's inspired.
Yeah.
I'm an accountant now, but let me tell you something. Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
I could have been something
Way
different.
to know that, dude. That's amazing. You knew Julian Edelman was a Jew. That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Yeah. First Jew to win Super Bowl MVP. That's a fact. That's a trivia fun fact for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he really the first Jewish?
Yeah.
My
Super Bowl
coach in
MVP.
track was, he died, like I said, he was, when he was coaching me in track, he was like 78, 82.
Wow.
And he died at like, I think he was, they kind of lost touch with him, but he died a couple years ago at like in his 90s.
Okay.
Like in his mid 90s, I
So
believe.
he lived through the 40s.
Yeah, he was in the 52 Olympics, and he was the first Jewish. He was a Jewish athlete, and he was in the Olympics as a Jewish thrower. It was rare. It was like really rare, you know.
Yeah.
And what the hell was I going with this? But yeah, it's like incredible that he was. He said like, track and field. What I hated about it was it's not a big thing in America. Mm-hmm. But he would tell me stories like he'd be in like Finland throwing. And like, what do you think about track? Who's the only one that gets like recognition? The 100-meter guys.
Oh, well, I know
The sprinters.
Usain Bolt. Yeah.
They're the superstars.
And then I know Carl
Lewis.
There we go. No.
And he's like, I would be like in Finland, and I'd
Uh-huh.
be like, I'd like be throwing in Finland in a meet, in the because the throwing event is inside the part of where the track. It's inside the field. The discus and the hammer. He's like, he'd be like looking at his coach, like, why did the stadium just erupt with 50,000 people screaming? Because you just broke the American record. He's like, they care about that here. He's like, yeah.
Wow.
It's not America. They just went nuts because you just broke the stadium record.
Oh, wow.
Because he was like a really good, like I said, he was in the Olympics, so he was a
Yeah.
top hammer thrower in the world. And he would travel, and you see, like, only in America, they're not, this is a 100-meter, 200-meter, 400-meter, or it's football, basketball, soccer. Football, basketball, baseball. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
and hockey. It's not really a track country.
Well, we do that with a lot of different stuff, I think, because like even like soccer, like now is becoming a lot more popular. But
Yeah.
like they have the biggest athletes on the planet, name-wise, on the planet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I can't pick
Oh, yeah.
out Messi out of a lineup,
Like, and they're making more than anybody in the NBA or in the NFL.
and
They're
they get more
huge.
viewers than everybody else too. But I'm just like, you want to talk to me about, who played on the fucking 2001 Patriots? I'll talk to you about that. Like that's,
Yeah, we're very. It's like America is a little bit like a bubble with sports.
yeah.
We have
It's
our
the
own thing,
oceans.
and we do our own thing.
Yeah. It's not a phase, Mom. All right.
Like my big thing is like my number one sport is I watch F1. I'm like a huge F1 fan.
Okay.
So now it's getting popular with
So
that
it's
movie.
just you,
The
right?
Brad Pitt. It's literally like just me. Nobody else. There's not one guy at work I could talk to. It's
yeah.
like just me. But no, I
catch
love
that,
it.
Catch that race last weekend? Be like, no, I did not actually.
I could literally do the same thing that little people do to me about being a football player. You know, they're like, if I was your size, I'd be in the NFL, dude.
Yeah.
Why aren't you in the NFL? I could do that I could do that about racing. I could be like, dude, if I was your size, like a little guy, I'd be like a race driver, dude.
Yeah.
Because you can't be more than like 5'8", 5'9". You can't fit in the car.
Oh yeah. F1
They're, like, really
pilots,
small.
too, right? Those fighter jets.
You can't be smaller.
I think you have to be tiny to be in those
I
things,
think
right?
like you could probably be like 6 foot, 6'1", I heard.
Oh, okay.
Real
Okay.
skinny.
You can get away with it.
But like that's about it.
It's
Like
the only plane
6'6".
6 foot people fit in. Yeah.
You know, they're not making a sunroof for your dumb head to stick out when you're 6'6".
G-force.
G4. Oh man, but yeah.
So you also have a very good podcast.
Thank you.
The Velvet Sugar podcast with your co-host.
We're
David
trying,
Beckles
yeah.
Sugar, that we discussed earlier today. Yeah, it's cool. I'll pop on random. I knew of Henrik from shows he was doing with Danny. And I never actually got to see him, I don't think. And then I saw him on your pod, and that was really cool. And then what's it called there? And then I was on your podcast, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But even like you guys have had Chris Warren on there. I was going to interview Chris Warren for this, and I listened to your podcast with him. Yeah, it's a really good show. I listened to one the other day.
thanks.
I don't know why it's like not playing them in order, but I listened to one the other day, and I thought it came out this week. Because I didn't know the
Yeah.
numbers. And you talked about a dorm, like a bouncer story where you were backed
Oh,
into
God.
a room.
Oh my God.
And then somebody fired off a gun, and you guys got out.
That was my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I talk about that? But I'll talk about it now. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, like, my brother had a handgun on him. He had a handgun.
Conclusion to the story.
That's fine. He has a pistol permit, my brother. And we got into a massive fight in a bar, and it was actually, the bar was in Queens. And it was where the Gotti brothers hung out.
Okay.
It's a true story. Like,
Yeah,
John Gotti,
Johnny
right
Gotti.
about when he was at his prime in the 90s, he was the big mobster in Queens, and people remember, 10 years ago, he got put in prison, finally.
Yeah.
And I think he died.
Okay, Travolta did a movie about him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his younger brothers were hanging out at that bar. It was like a mob bar.
Mm-hmm.
But, you never know who the mob guys are. They were always they were
Yeah.
incognito. It's not like a movie like Sopranos. They would
Yeah.
disappear. You never know who they were.
All Italians look alike, too.
Yeah, and so everybody wanted to be, all of them.
Disgusting.
They all wanted to be connected. All these guys that were at the bar that they'll be like, oh, you know who we know, and everybody was like a bragger. Everybody was like what we call in Queens like a wannabe,
Oh, okay, like a showboaty kind
and
of.
So but they didn't
wankster.
we had a big fight broke out, and I was working there with two other bouncers and my brother, and this 7 foot tall Romanian bouncer, and these guys did not like us. It was just a bunch of bad dudes from that area that did not like us, and it was simmering for months because we had thrown a couple of them out.
Okay.
And when the fight broke out, it got horrible. It got bad. We were surrounded by 40 guys throwing bottles at us, and all of a sudden I hear a boom, like a gunshot goes off, and I look at it's my brother with a handgun, I can say this now. It's literally past the point of what's it called, like statute of limitations, like where they can't.
Yeah.
And then these guys, then they just like it was so bad though they only backed them up for like a few minutes, for like a minute, and then we were throwing bottles at us again.
Zombies,
we had to go out, like zombies.
Yeah.
We went out a back door, and this door was like full on locked, and this 7 foot tall Romanian bouncer he kicked the door down, like he was humongous. He was literally like 7 foot tall, like 3 feet. It was like picture LeBron, but like 4 inches taller. Built like LeBron, or maybe even bigger. Built like Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
And he kicked this door down, and we just escaped at the nick of time as these guys busted in. It was like a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to stop doing this. I was already working as a in the hospital, and I was already working in my career after college. I'm like, I got to stop doing this. But it was kind of a rowdy. Yeah, I have a lot of bouncer stories. One day, my podcast partner David Beckles Jr. He's always like telling me like you got to start writing stories about your bouncer days. Yeah, because I have a lot of crazy stories, you know.
That's what you should work on during check spots if you ever get check spots.
The check spot stories?
Yeah.
Just try them out there?
Yeah, just try them out there. I did that with I was a cab driver for 2 years, and every time in upstate New York, not in the city. And every time I had check spot, I was just like, I think I'm going to work on this one. And then I would just go up there and do that. I would do like a shock joke just to get their attention, and then I would start telling a story to see if I can keep them.
Yeah.
You know?
Did the stories work okay for you for the check spots?
No. But it's good because like if there were like 5 out of the 100 paying attention, whatever got them to laugh, I'm like, okay, there is something silly about this story that they might be interested in. So it just gave me encouragement. If the whole thing went through and nobody liked it, at least I told the story and I was somewhat entertaining. But
dude, kudos though that you're how long are you doing comedy now?
2 years in April.
If you're doing it 2 years in April and you have the balls to try a new joke at like a major club in a check spot, that's amazing because
I'm sure Cal doesn't appreciate it.
Well, it's the checks. I don't think he cares. It's the check spot.
He cares.
He just doesn't want people running out on the check.
Yeah.
But that's pretty smart because you get an idea.
Yeah, you treat it like an open mic because I mean they're not really paying attention. If you got something that works, then it's like,
Do you ever try jokes for the first time at a show, or do you always make sure like they work at least once at an open mic?
I don't have the experience level to do it often, but sometimes, like the other day, I was at a show and I fucking thought of a line while washing my hands. I used the restroom before going up, and I washed my hands. I thought of a line, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I opened with it, and it worked, and I was like, thank God, But like but when I get off stage, I'm like, that was a really dumb thing to do, because it is pretty dumb to do that, But like I was just feeling it, like how when you're excited about a new joke, you seem to put better energy into it. So I think that has saved me sometimes, this is like I have a lot of material, I think, and like there's just half of it at this point. Like I'm still not super excited to say because I'm excited about the new stuff. I have to figure out how to rekindle the flame with the old stuff.
Yeah,
that's tough.
It is tough. It is tough. I have I have material I've been doing for like some of the material I have been doing for over 7 years. And like probably about a third of my stuff that I do on shows is stuff I've been doing over 5-6 years.
Wow.
But it works great. They are good jokes. They work. And I always look at it like the people watching me, they've never seen it.
Yeah,
I want them
for
they've
sure.
paid money. I want them to have a great time. But hell no, I'm not going to do just old stuff. But I will never do, I've learned this lesson so many times, and every comic does this, I'm sure. Every couple of years they're like, I'm gonna try my new stuff in the beginning. I'm pretty good. Yeah. And then like your first 3 jokes bomb, and then you dug such a hole in yourself for yourself. And now I'm like, I'm doing my new stuff, best stuff. New stuff goes in the beginning or in the absolute end. And I've seen a really good pro comic from the city do an hour, and at the last 10 minutes, he had everybody laughing for like 50 minutes. And I'll never forget this. He was like, it was like a local show at like a brewery, but he was a really good touring comic. And he's like, all right, I got you guys. And he was clean. He wasn't dirty. He wasn't clean, but he was like, he wasn't filthy at all, blue at all. And the last 10 minutes, he went full on blue. But he's like, and he told the crowd, he's like, I kind of got you guys. I'm gonna try some new stuff. And you know how we do it. We're like, you guys want to hear some new stuff? And they'll make woo because they love him.
Yeah.
And he did the filthiest, bluest material. But a couple of them worked, a lot of them didn't. But like, I get what he did was like, they liked him already. They got a great show.
100%.
You know, now here's it's almost like a disclaimer. Like, I got you. You're doing this.
Yep.
Can I just try this new stuff
It
on you?
almost like markets it as like extra because they're like, hey guys, we just had a great show. I'm gonna do a little encore.
Now you do something for
get
me.
A little surplus, you know.
Surplus, and you do something for me. You give me your attention, you know. Make sure you had their attention. Some worked, some didn't, but like I get what he was doing. He would never, if he tried that blue stuff in the beginning, you'd lose him. You know, and then you're working so hard to get him back. You know.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys that'll do like a strong 15, and then they'll just hard stop into new stuff for 5. Like they'll just give 5 minutes of breather for new stuff in the middle, and then they'll close strong.
Yeah.
So there will be like that. Usually it's like this lull in the show. You're like, all right, that was a little weird in the middle, but like
any special, the weakest stuff is in the middle.
Yeah,
and like any comedy show, the strong comics with good energy are up front. The best ones are at the end. And in the middle, you put your least experienced comics. I don't think it's any different for a set.
I'm having such a hard time coming to grips with that stuff, though, because like I was doing a show with Michael and like Lake George this past weekend, and I was like, I'm in the beginning. Like I don't know how I feel about it anymore, and like everybody and their mother has been like, hey man, like you're up front because we like your energy and whatever. And I'm like, and I know I don't want to be in the middle, right?
Right.
But I'm not a headliner yet, and I remember that I'm not 2 years, right? I'm not even at 2 years. So I'm trying to check ego, but I'm also just like, I'm the opener, like that's tough. And like I was very grateful to be on the show. These people are very nice, and truth be told, we were late anyways, so I ended up going middle anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So I suck for that, but like I've been told so many times that being the opener is actually sometimes it's a compliment, and in the middle is not the best part, and then the headliner is where you actually want to be,
But there's a lot of pressure, and I think I was just listening to your Zenhauser episode, and then Anthony Zenhauser was saying this is like there's a lot of pressure for the headliner because I've been on shows. My best shows have always been featuring, not headlining, because you're the most relaxed. You're the most like, well, fuck it, I'm not the headliner. There's no pressure on me.
Yeah,
let's make these
nice.
And a little bit inside. I'm gonna be lying if I said every comic inside doesn't think like, I'm gonna make him like, you know what? Maybe this guy should headline.
Yeah.
You try to shoot, and you're relaxed and you have more fun.
Try harder. Yeah.
Same set when I headline is not the same. It's always, it's a little different.
Yeah, I think they
different
expect
energy.
momentum when you headline. Like you're gonna get a roll, and then it's just gonna be this big roar.
Right.
Yeah, because I've noticed that too. It's like it's like this weird transition phase of like trying to figure out what the next step is for me. So
I mean,
so you were hosting for a little bit. I'm gonna
Just can't go for that. No can do. Hey, how's it going? This is the Interruptible. I am going to tell you about show dates on 213, Julian's in Millbrook, 214, Don't Tell Comedy. Can't tell you anything more about that. 220, Sloop Joke Bomb, 221, Krog Rhinebeck, 228. Gonna move on from that one. That's a big secret show. And then 313, we are at Krog and Rhinebeck, and 314, the Joke Bomb. The thing about the Joke Bombs is we're trying a new format. So if you can buy tickets to that and show up and be a good crowd, we're trying a new format. Hopefully it works out. I think it helps everybody in that situation. So please show up, show out, do your thing. On 321 Union Street in Hudson, doing a showcase. I've got some great comics coming up from the city, featuring some locals. That'll be fantastic. And this is big news if you're still paying attention. If you haven't skipped this already, on 4/25, Don't Tell Comedy, we're doing an all-stars show. This will feature comedians that you've seen on Hulu, that you've heard about. This is still going to be a secret venue, secret lineup, but I can promise you this, the venue, very cool. And I could also tell you that the lineup will be fantastic because these people have been published. I mean, it's this is very exciting, very cool for us to do. This is a new thing from Don't Tell Comedy. They've done, I guess, only a couple of these already, but the rest are, this is definitely going to be the first one in New York, I think, outside of the city. So please check that out. You don't want to miss it. This is going to be a great freaking show.
And we're back.
Bladder's empty.
It'd be funny if there was like 16 empty beer glasses here.
Yeah. My hair is like flat down and sweaty.
It was like, this is comedy, and we both just start saying expletives. So I wanted to conclude with this question. I was just curious because this is kind of where I am now with my comedy journey is like figuring out how to like make that next step because like you've. You obviously you started it somewhere and you got to your headlining spot, and you're a fucking solid comedian, dude. You're a rock solid comedian. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you do bad. You're just like, you're a fucking great guy. I mean, also, like, I do want to say this before it gets too late. First time I met you, every time I've seen you, always, you're one of those few people that like will like check in and be like, "How are you, man? Like, how is this going for you? Like, what's going on?" You've always been like a yeah, dude.
Oh, I thought I was an asshole. I didn't realize that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
no, don't say that.
Yeah, that too. But no, I mean, you've always been like fucking wicked nice to me, man, and you've always just been like, I don't know. You've always just checked in. I've seen you just check in on comics, like in person. I don't know if you DM them or whatever, but like. I've seen you like do that like awesome thing of just like being like, how are you guys doing?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been like I work in healthcare on the side. It's my day job, and I've always been like caring about people. That's just how I am. I don't want to see people like in pain or hurting or doing something they don't like or frustrated or.
And then you watch them on stage. And pain and they're hurting up
there. no, but I don't know. I just everybody's cool. Everybody's cool in this comedy scene, and I like talking to people. But, so what's your question again?
Headlining? I don't know.
Headlining?
Yeah. I mean, what was it like getting to the next step for you? Because like I guess, if you could hear a story about it, it gives you like an idea of a path, I guess.
For me, it was honestly time because of the material. Like I remember the first like good. I've done a few clubs already, but like Maria from Rhino, shout out to her. She gave me. I won like the Rhino contest that they would do every month, a couple months a year. They do a contest there, and I won it. And shout out to Michael Gumiade who told me to do that contest. I would never have entered it if it wasn't for him, actually.
Yep, that's our
I won the contest.
Mention of Michael's full name per episode. We're contractually obligated. Michael Gumiade's full name per
He's been
episode.
very supportive of me. He's always helped me out. And I did a contest, and the contest was if you win it, you get a spot on the show. And she never... I don't know if you're not a blue comedian, but early on in my comedy, like in my open mics, you see me in open mics, I do very blue stuff.
Okay.
And I do edgy stuff. I almost want to provoke, have fun, but that's not what I do in my shows.
Yeah.
I clean it up a little bit for the shows.
We're similar in that way.
Similar,
yeah,
right?
My open mics are raunchy.
Open mics, I'm like, let me see who I could piss off. Let me see if I could push this open mic comedy hardcore crowd. But in my shows, I respect the people. I don't want to offend the audiences.
Yeah.
I ease up a little bit. I back off, and I won that contest. I did the show because she would never put me on because I'd always go too hardcore on her open mics, and she likes she doesn't like blue material in her shows, so she put me on. And I remember she put me on as an opener and then a feature with 20 minutes, and then I just realized she came up to me and she's like, "Do you have 30 minutes? Like, do you have 30 minutes of material?" And the first time I'm like, "I'm close. I have like 25-ish." And I should have said, every other comedian's looking at me probably now like, "Idiot, just say yes."
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I was never like that. I was never like that.
Yeah.
I actually, I said no, and then eventually a few months later she put me on. But I told her, yeah, more or less about 25, 30 minutes. But like, it's how much time you have, like.
Yeah.
And how much time do you think that's decent material to use at a show?
Stuff I've done on stage at Laugh It Up is what I would count as like material I'm comfortable with doing. I practice my sets in a sauna at home every so often. I did about 46 minutes the other day.
46 minutes?
Yeah. But it was just like, it felt like a flow and all that kind of stuff. And that's like, it all worked together. And there was a lot of stuff that I still didn't do that I've done on stage at Laugh It Up before.
You did 46 minutes without looking at your notes?
Oh yeah, so in the sauna, it's just steam and darkness. Like I like to access my brain in there,
And
I
it
like
works for you?
Yeah, because like I'm gonna sweat on stage, so if I'm sweating in that black box, it's just.
You do that at the sauna? I didn't. I
Yeah.
never looked at that technique. I got to try that out.
Oh yeah, I like the way the sauna feels. It helps me sleep at night, so I'll do that. And then since I'm in there, I used to use it as like a time to put your phone down and check in.
Yeah.
But at some point, I'm just like, I actually kind of just want to run through material, and I treat it like a shower. In the shower, you come up with some of your best taglines.
I say don't rush being a headliner. You're in 2 years in. You're doing great. You got a lot of material.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. Get better. Get better. You'll get so much. My biggest gains were from like year 2 to year 5.
Okay.
Because you're going to change every year as a comic. Your material, you've heard that stuff. You look at your old jokes, you're like, I wrote this? This is terrible.
Yeah.
Like your early stuff. That happens constantly every year. Like
Yeah.
now I look at what I wrote last year, I'm like, I write so much better now than this. I don't even want to use this stuff. On average, you're going to write better and more consistently.
For sure.
Your comedy's going to change. You're going to get closer to finding your voice. Don't rush it. Just
Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy the process. It's just weird, Like
2 years.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's so little.
I know.
I'm so jealous.
I know it's a long haul. It's just, I'm just, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's one of those things. What's crazy is that the set that Cal booked me off of, like the first one, I'll like go to say at shows sometimes, and I'll stop halfway into it, and I was just like, I actually don't love that material right now. Like I don't love it because of what it is.
Okay.
It was my opening set was a story about making a girl squirt.
Oh,
And
nice.
I know, and I don't. Obviously, I don't do that material anymore. But the funny part to me was the conclusion, which is where I'm like doing the laundry, and I lived with my parents at that time, right? I'm doing the laundry, and then my mom saw the sheets on the floor and legitimately asked me, she's like, "Did you piss the bed last night?" And I'm like, and then that's the whole set. I'm just like, do I tell my mom the truth or do I lie? And that was like, yeah. It's obviously not what I do anymore, but yeah, it was a funny scenario though. But Cal heard that and was like, I got a book. It's like,
Oh man,
it was crazy.
Yeah, man, just keep at it. 2 years in, you're gonna. I don't know. It's hard. It's a weird thing, comedy. I can't. Kudos to those people who like can teach people and give people comedy advice. Like I always felt like I could never do that.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, comedy. There's no apprenticeship program.
That's why I like the podcast so much, because I could talk to comedians like yourself and like Zenhauser and just be like, what did you do? Because there is no like path, and like nobody's gonna follow your exact path, but like maybe you just like give somebody an idea of it, and like even like Zenhauser, even there was just ideas that came from that podcast where I'm just like, okay, like that's a different. I did not see it that way, and it's just
everybody writes differently. Everybody's process is very different. I don't really write too much. Even though I should, I don't write too much on paper. I write on my phone ideas, and then I try it out on stage, and sometimes I'll add ideas. But I use my phone to write. A lot of people aren't like that. They'll write on paper.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's better for you, it's better to write on paper. Kind of. I heard it accesses a different part of your brain. Writing on paper. But there's no formula for this. It's and the people who should be apprenticing us, they're too busy trying to get work.
Yeah.
Because it's such a hard business.
Yeah.
They're 25, 30 years in and touring, headlining comics. They got to do their own thing. They don't have time to teach us.
100%. And the thing is like there's no age limit on this. Like people are still going late into their life. Still doing it. So it's not like. There's no like retirement from it, It's not like this guy's 60 now, he's gonna retire. That doesn't happen. They can still do it into their 70s and 80s.
Yeah. The only advice I have is do this like you're having fun, because you started this to have fun, not to make money.
Yeah.
As soon as you approach it like I got to get better, what can I do? You're overthinking it already. Okay. It's like the difference between pee-wee football and baseball and college and pro. As soon as I went to college, I realized it was miserable. It was they're just trying to make money, trying to get better. The kid that picks up a football or a baseball bat, they just want to do it for fun. We do this because we like telling jokes. Just do it because you like to. You should enjoy each moment in the moment, not about the future. Enjoy the moment. Your best jokes will come, and then eventually somebody will come up to you. It's like finding love. You ever try to get a girlfriend? You can never get one. You ever try to get into a relationship, you'll never get one.
Yeah.
As soon as you're like, I want nothing to do with women, I'm done with relations. 3 months later, you'll meet your wife.
That's what.
It's because you're the most relaxed,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing. You're the most relaxed, and just like in comedy, as soon as you relax and don't give a shit what the crowd thinks, what the audience thinks, what the booker thinks, you're gonna come up with your best material. That's my only advice.
Hell yeah.
Harlan gave me that advice, Williams, and he said
yeah.
like, dude, you cannot care about the booker, you cannot care about the venue. You do comedy for you. You get the comedians for you. Like you get the audience for you. Like if they're not laughing at your stuff, you'll just keep doing your stuff. You'll find an audience that laughs at your stuff. It's not about them. It's about you. Just keep writing, keep enjoying it, having fun, and then you'll write great material that you love. Because you're doing this for you, right?
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And that's it, you know? You're showing up for them, and you're being good and clean cut and wearing a suit for them, whatever, a nice show, but we're doing this for ourselves. And I think, yeah, that's how it has to be. You can't view it like a job at all. And then it gets like any other job, and you want to quit. Which I've had those moments. I wanted to quit. I'm like, this is too. And I'm like, yeah, I just got to do this for me. You got to have fun doing this.
Hell yeah. Do you still love doing it?
I still love doing it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to appreciate now. 8 years. It's only up until like the last year or two I started appreciating the hang of an open mic and hanging out with other comedians. I would show up like, okay, I got to get better so I could get better at my next show. For what? Enjoy where you are now.
Yeah.
What are you rushing for? Tomorrow's not here. Enjoy now. You could also plan for tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. You could plan for being a better comic and headlining in the future, but always enjoy now, and that's the most important.
Yeah.
The other one is the second most important, you know? Just enjoy it, and then you'll write great material. And it's like improv. The more harder you try to write material and try to come up with stuff, the more you don't. The more relaxed you are, the more you're enjoying it, the more you come up with bits. The more I try to write new funny bits, I can't come up with anything.
Yeah. My best ideas come like after a workout. I'll go on the treadmill for like 10 minutes. And then while I'm just like exhausted, I'll like watch comedy and just enjoy stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And then I'll just like, an idea will happen. And I'll be like, I'll just grab my phone, I'll write it down, and I go back to watching what I was watching. And I'll play with that later, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Alex
you.
Kollar, at Big Alex Comedy.
At Big Alex Comedy.
And Velvet Sugar Podcast is.
Velvet Sugar Podcast.
Yep. And Mamochka.
Mamochka.
Yeah, not the number 4 in there, unless you're trying to spell it that way. Mamochka. And I watched that on Prime Video.
Prime?
Yep. And you can get it on. There's another streaming service that has it.
It's everywhere now.
But
Prime,
everybody's got
Tubi,
Prime.
Freebie, Apple TV. It's Mamochka, and it's like $3 to rent or something like that. And check it out.
Yeah.
If you like a horror movie.
Yeah, if you like horror movies, it is creepy. It's so creepy. And like, I don't like scary movies, but I'm like watching this movie, and I'm like, I'm doing this for Alex, you know. So I'm like, I'm watching.
Oh,
it,
I appreciate
and I'm
it.
like, oh man, this is. It gives me weird. The mailman is.
Yeah, I hate
We'll talk
horror
about
movies.
that
Well,
when we're not recording, because you know I don't want to give anything away. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know that person out? Is that a comedian? I hope not.
I don't know.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it after. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. I appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, you got jokes, yeah, you're insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?